Today, the subcommittee will hear from the Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the Honorable Ms. Ray Oliver Davis. We welcome your testimony today and thank you for all your work to ensure that HUD operates more effectively for the people it serves and the taxpayers who fund its programs. Indeed, it is no small task to oversee an agency like HUD with a long documented record of waste, fraud, abuse, and mismanagement. Most recently, the Office of Inspector General reported that it found $950 million in HUD funds that could be redirected and recovered $49 million in overdue collections. Your office has also made numerous recommendations that, if executed, would save taxpayers tens of billions of dollars. In addition, Ms. Oliver Davis, your team pursued enforcement actions that resulted in 51 criminal convictions, 5 civil actions, 12 government debarment actions, and $28 million in restitution and judgments. So an impressive record. These actions save taxpayers money and help protect the very people HUD is supposed to be helping, which is why we have proposed legislation along with this hearing to make the IGs appear before this committee an annual event. And the work of the Inspector General has only gotten tougher, more complicated, and even more essential in recent years. HUD's annual budget has grown from $44 billion in 2015 to $75 billion today, a 70% increase. Further, as a result of the spending on natural disasters as well as COVID, HUD now manages over $100 billion in federal grants. That's a staggering amount, and as you reported, Ms. Oliver Davis, HUD has had numerous challenges in overseeing grant money for programs like the Community Development Block Grant for disaster recovery. CDBG-DR, as it's known, Community Development Block Grants for Disaster Recovery, is now HUD's single largest grant. And believe it or not, it is a program that has never been formally authorized by Congress. In fact, most of HUD's programs are funded each year but remain unauthorized. These include programs for the nation's most vulnerable populations, such as public housing, Section 8, and health and safety programs. It's a problem that I believe this subcommittee must address to ensure that HUD receives proper oversight. A lapse in authorization is also a lapse by Congress in providing the scrutiny that HUD of all agencies needs. It is clear to me that we must have a closer look at HUD's management, organization structure, and the way it operates. Creating a smarter, better run, more efficient HUD should be a goal we all share, which is why I have proposed setting up a new bipartisan independent commission to study what works and what does not work within HUD's current organization. Then they would report back to Congress on how we can streamline HUD's operations to better get productivity and the actual outcomes that we seek for the same kinds of dollars we're currently spending. Thankfully, however, we are able to hear from the Inspector General today, whose boots on the ground at HUD have done important work in highlighting some of the agency's most serious deficiencies. Notably, Ms. Oliver Davis and her team have found a shocking abundance of health and safety concerns in HUD-assisted properties. For example, one report identified almost 33,000, quote, life-threatening exigent health and safety issues in public housing. These homes should be safe for their residents. Another identified poor physical conditions in multifamily housing developments, as well as a failure of HUD to flag these conditions. And yet another one reported inadequate oversight of the lead-based remediation in HUD properties, a particular problem for young children who are susceptible to the harmful effects of lead. This is particularly concerning as HUD's core mission as a federal agency is to provide decent, safe, sanitary, and affordable housing. I expect that HUD will do all in its power to immediately address these failures that the IG has identified. And it's quite honestly unacceptable if they should not do so, because lives are indeed at stake. All of this only shines a light on why the testimony and the work of the HUD Inspector General is so critical. Ms. Oliver Davis, we look forward to hearing your remarks and working with you on ways to address these and other issues for what I would say is an agency with significant challenges.